Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Did you stay on and practice?
I practiced the resonations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Resonators?
And I thought a lot about everything we learned.
Okay.
But to say that I practiced as much as I wanted, no. I didn't have time.
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always thinking about it. Sorry, I'm always thinking about it now. And I had a class on Sunday,
Uh-huh.
Gym for actors,
Okay.
and that was really present in my practice, if I can say. And I think it's going to bring me further. I'm really happy.
Did you notice any, or probably just your whole process of what you were thinking about and or being aware of what you were feeling?
I start from, because here I think that what they teach here about on-camera acting is mainly like you wrote in your book. Everything is in the eye. Don't do anything. Just be natural. And for me, it just didn't work. And I was looking at like great actresses, and some of them, like their eyebrows, they never move. Like they speak everything like, but I don't know if that's the best. It's like they act throughout the movie and it's just like you get it, but I mean, there's nothing going on in their face. And so it's like, I'm thinking,
Well, I think you need to look at it in a different way, and that being, one, is their face already talking? Do they look like they're always a little bit worried about something? Does it look like um, there's something already going on, even though there's not, even though they're not, so they don't change, but they're consistent in this one kind of facial expression.
Yeah, that's true though.
And the other thing is, depends on the character. Again, remember, we don't always want people to know what we're feeling, so we modify that.
Yeah.
And is it all coming through the eyes? Well, again, if there's focus, then it'll appear that something is going on. Even if you stopped right now and stared at something and really looked at it, we'd all think, well, something's going on. We don't know what it is, but something's going on. So then the story will reveal itself. The question is that you'll always ask yourself, is there any reason why I can't reveal what I feel to the degree I feel it? And certain characters, their whole thing is about containment because that's the type of character. You look at somebody who is like a detective or something. They're constantly containing the emotion. They're not letting people. But you ever notice that when they do have a scene where they really are emotional, things will change, and we are moved by that. So I think that it's since most people don't understand emotions and what they are, is we look at the result of what interests us and then try to play that result.
Yeah.
Do nothing. And well, how come it's not coming through? I'm not saying your eyes, but you might go to an actor. You're not bringing it through the eyes. And you think about that. How are you going to do that? How are you going to ram an emotion through your eyes? The most that you might get is
yeah.
So it's the subtleties. Again, if you look at my eyes and I'm doing something like, does it look like I'm happy?
No. For sure.
Really? Now, if you look, you really can't see. You can't really see what's moving, right?
No.
Neutral. And it was all down here. Nothing changed in my eyes.
Yeah, I got that.
And so picking that up when you look at, you know, the other actors, and this is part of, I think, the artistry of emotions is how much do you allow the audience, the result would be how much you let the audience make up the story.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, when we break that down into emotions, what it means is I'm feeling, but I'm modifying what I feel. So I'm containing it. So how do I modify it? I may try to neutralize it, meaning I don't want you to see what's on my face. But as I try to control it, there's a different texture in the skin even. If you have nothing going on, there is no changes.
Mm-hmm.
Even the very subtle ones. And the camera can pick it up because even this is where we are right now, and you can pick up all those subtle changes if I just even bring attention, you know, to the eyelids, or even if I slightly widen them a little bit. And they're really hard to see, but little changes will change the whole contour of your face. Does that make sense, guys? Just by moving one of the emotional muscle groups, you change the whole appearance of your face.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I want you to be able to work from it really small to just the onset of it. Now, here's something. This is more of the advanced stuff, but I'll show it to you now. Did everybody here feel a little bit of the anger when you dropped the jaw and moved it?
Yeah.
And Maria, you too? And I noticed, I go, well, I don't have two Marias. I got one Maria and one Maria. Do you have your sound on, Maria?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you something really cool. Remember how that feeling was when you dropped the jaw and you jutted forward, then I asked you to press down on it, right? Now, what I want you to do is don't move the jaw, but I want you to feel it dropping. And then I want you to feel it jutting out. Just feel that energy jutting out. And it's moving out. And you feel that tension in the jawline. Stay focused on me or on your screen. And then what I want you to do is I want you to feel the mouth pressing down tight, the teeth pressing together really tight. But don't move it. Just feel the sensations. As you do that, you're going to feel the breath wanting to pick up. Allow it. Don't move anything. Just feel that sensation. Feel the sensation of your brow being pulled down right now towards your nose. The more you feel that sensation of the jaw coming together, the more you're going to trigger. I let it go. Did anybody feel anything happening?
Yeah.
Heartbeat faster, actually.
Mm-hmm. Danielle, did you feel a change? You're on mute.
I know. Yeah, I definitely did. I felt adrenaline kind of picking up just slightly.
Okay. And Maria?
Yeah, I felt my breath like deeper.
Did you feel that the rest of that tension moving through your body, wanting to grab something? But nothing was changing on your face. You were modifying what you were feeling right then. Now, for internalizers, people who feel intensely but don't reveal, my belief is this is what's happening. These muscles are being activated underneath the skin. So if you didn't know better, wouldn't you think everybody would know that how angry you were right then? But here's the cool part about this type of modification. You are in the place right now to go from 0 to full anger. Because you're modifying, and you are modifying what's already being generated internally. You can't modify what you haven't created. That's why the problem that we have is we're trying to create and modify at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're going to the trigger of what's happening, and we're allowing. Right now, you didn't have a trigger; you just activated it underneath there. But if you had a trigger, something just happened that you were watching or hearing, it would have changed it. So before we start, Maria, tell me from last week, how are you feeling? How you doing? What progress? What hasn't been progressing? Any thoughts about what we did last week? What's all that? It's the noise. Yeah, we gotta be careful when we move because it comes out really loudly. So Maria.
Yeah. No, it was interesting to see, like, I thought that I was giving full emotion, but apparently it wasn't really full. And just answering some of the trigger questions was interesting for me because, I don't know, it was kind of difficult at first.
Okay.
Because I'm like, well, when was the last time I was surprised? Or when was the last time I was really angry? And I guess it kind of sort of clicked for me, like maybe when I was doing it, I wasn't really focused on a thought, like it wasn't very clear for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it was just, I was having difficulty with the questions.
Okay.
And just
Well,
really,
the question is, and then I asked you to, the questions were leading in, if this happened, under what conditions would you get angry?
yeah.
Because going back into time to grab a situation, for me, it's kind of like diametrically opposed to being in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're going to take out your life and you're trying to fit it into this. So if I was, if right now we're having a conversation and, is there a comment, and then this is like kind of off the top of your head, you don't even have to answer this. Is there something I could say in front of everybody to you that would irritate you? You have a hot spot for something like that?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, that's what I want you to begin thinking about, is I can make some kind of derogatory statement. I could be sexist in some way, a racist remark. Going, I'm really sensitive to people who do certain things. It really irritates me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, or if I was to accuse you, if I was your boss, and everybody could take this question in, you work for me. And I brought you to my office and I fired you. And I go, okay, would that make you angry? You go, I don't know. It really depends. Okay, so it depends on what? Depends on the way I fire you? Does it depend on where I'm firing you? Does it depend on my attitude or our relationship? Now, could you set it up in your own mind right now, the circumstances that maybe you never had it before, but could make you angry? If I was to accuse you unfairly, Ellen, would that make you angry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so and Danielle, would that make you angry if I was to accuse you? You're a hard worker. You come in early, but I accuse you of, even stealing something or talking about somebody else, say you are the problem in the office, whatever it might be. Do you have a sensitive? So what we're doing is we're looking at the triggers that would need to occur to evoke that emotional state. It may never have happened, but I tell you what, if you are protective over somebody, and you may never have to protect them, but if I did something to threaten them in some way, do you think that would make you angry? Would you jump in? Would you protect them? You go, yeah. Okay, what? what would that be? What would those circumstances be? And we set it up so that we understand the character gets angry. But you go, I wouldn't get angry there. But the character heard this in this way. Now our job is to set those triggers up and allow this emotion to come forth based on what the character is responding to. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. So we're gonna do a little bit of that tonight with each emotion. Did everybody have time to go through the resonators?
Yeah.
Maria?
Yes.
All right. Was there any of the emotions as you were going through that started? I'm going to go with Helen first. Any of the emotions that immediately you either had trouble with or they were easily accessible to you? When you moved with, say, for example, you were working with the fear. For some people, bringing that brow up and in is very difficult.
Yeah, for me, that one.
But the tension, little tension in the eyes widening, did you begin to feel without the brow going up, just through the eyes? And holding that, do you begin to feel a little anxiety? And what am I worried about right now?
Yeah, fear, yeah.
Okay. So the brow for the fear was a little difficult. And anything else? The sad brow? How'd that?
No, it was actually for sadness that I was working more. Because for me,
that's a little.
High was harder.
That's a tough one for probably about 90% of the people.
Oh, okay.
But actors tend to get it a lot easier. So were you able to isolate just the brows without moving anything? Relax. Remember, and it's the sound. And holding that. So if everybody did that and bring it up, and how does that make you feel? Do you feel a little bit more open, alert, available? Now make sure nothing else is moving as you do it. Okay. Daniel, do you have any problems or anything that immediately that was triggered for you going through it, or anything that not? You should have felt a little something moving each one of the muscle groups.
Yeah, I noticed, like you had said, it was at first it was difficult to kind of isolate the one muscle group and kind of leave out the others. My face wanted to kind of go with it, but that was one thing I noticed. The other thing was the sadness. I was having difficulty with my eyebrows kind of coming in and then going up, and also considering that I really wasn't familiar with the feeling of sadness. The more I did it and the more I held that expression, I actually began to feel sorrow instead of anguish.
Okay. And then as you go on, you'll feel both, and you can. And I'm going to show you tonight about the introduction of pain. So was there any problem areas I should know about before we go on?
Well, maybe the difference between when you just say from here, and then it goes just slightly higher, maybe?
Each sound. Now, when we talk about the resonator, bringing all the sound right to here. Now, if the sound goes all over the place, so will your face. When we're in an emotional state, if we're in an excited state, it's going to be all over the place. But think of, I'm going to say this two ways. You don't have to worry about where is the placement of my voice when I'm in an emotional state.
Yeah.
Okay? This is really there to help you locate and isolate the muscle group. But there's kind of a cool thing when you use it for voiceover. Because if I have everything down here, all the sound is down here, as opposed to up here. Really? That's really cool. Really? And so people who don't really connect or you just use one area of the mouth, then the rest of the muscle groups tend to be inactive. So And you'll find out as we go on more about this. So Maria, how about you? Did you find any areas on your face that were hard to access?
I guess with the eyelids where you're like isolate and you're like don't raise your eyes and just do the eyebrows. That was kind of hard to do, like with surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like the sadness one. And I found myself resisting it.
As soon as you went to it, you felt it changing, and then you didn't want to go there and feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Now being, one thing I always say in this case here is when we signed on to be an actor, we made this agreement to go places that most people don't want to go, to feel things. So you don't sign the contract. All right. So we're gonna start with disgust here, and then I want to access that, and then I want to connect a trigger to it. So we're gonna bring it down to the lower area here, and we're just gonna do this small so we don't activate the top part. So it's just a small, So see if you can isolate that. And once you find access to it, hold it. And then if you want, you can leave the mouth open, or if you want to make it a little bit more subtle, close the mouth. You see the person? Okay. Good. Keep working at it. If you need to find access, put your own put you on, pin you, so that you can. Yeah, that's good. Now make it even a little bit smaller than that, Helen. Bring it up a little bit more, Danielle. Yeah. So yeah. Let me see, Maria. Now, Maria, can you do it without pushing the lips? Just this muscle. Ew. Yeah. So you're doing. You're trying to. It's the muscle. This is where the muscle area is, right here. It's lifting up. Yeah. So let the spawn part be relaxed. There you go. Lift it a little higher. Now hold it. Now there shouldn't be any tension around here. Make sure it's symmetrical, Helen. Bring it up a little bit higher for me. Helen. There you go. So we don't want to make the sound like ooh and then move it. It's as you're making it. Yeah. Good. Now once you get it, hold on to it. Now there shouldn't be any tension in this emotion. You make me sick. Okay. Yeah, that's good, Maria. Just try to hold it. Now what I want you to do is choose somebody to look at. So put their photo right in the center. Before we do that, a action that somebody else would do that you would find offensive. And now what I need you to do is, in this case here, you're going to tell me because I want to make sure you're on the right track. Now, for example, being offensive is somebody that the way they treat somebody, their behavior. It could be if you have a real hot spot to a certain kind of somebody cut in front of you, somebody maybe manhandling a child. Makes me sick. So what makes you sick? What could make you sick? Helen, you got something? Behavior? If not, I'm going to give you all one. Yeah. So if you so you can go around this way here. So Helen, you can look at Danielle. Danielle, look at Maria. Maria, look at Helen. I put them on there. Now, the person you're looking at, what could they have done to somebody else? Do you have a certain belief about fidelity, about truthfulness, about how to treat people? You all have something that you feel strongly about? Okay. Now, I want, as you look at the person that I just talked to, we just put you on, this person just did this action that you deem to be offensive. Now, I need you to recall this action. And from this moment here, I want you to look away from that. And I want you to see how this event unfolded. Now, I'll give you a scenario. Somebody who is grabbing, I'm looking at a woman, and I could pick any one of you, and I can see how holding a child, or reprimanding a child. And I can tell by this person's demeanor that this child doesn't mean really anything. This child's not important to them. And I can see this woman just shaking the child. All I can think of is this piece of shit. Now, if you have one of your own, just kind of allow that to see it. Don't get in your head. Let this image be outward. But now this image, as you look up to the person that you're working with right now, that's the person who was committing the act. You just saw them do this. So lock onto them. And you're going to make that little sound of you. You. And bringing that up. You. Lift that upper lip up. A little higher, Helen. Yeah, it's okay that they see this. Yeah. And I want you to think, you don't have to say piece of shit, you say piece of crap. Piece of shit. Bring it up a little higher, Helen. Bring it up a little bit higher, Maria. Don't get locked into it. This is a feeling. This is a very strong feeling you have about that, who you're looking at right now. Don't push it, Danielle. Just have it. Don't go any further. You're going to feel a change inside you, a little bit of distaste. So bring that up a little bit higher, Danielle. Close it. You don't have to show us. It's already there. Maria, and you're going to use this, hopefully, nobody has a problem with shit. You're looking at that person now. I want you to say, you piece of shit. When you say shit, you shit.
Shit.
Good. Helen? And it's on shit is when you're leaking the disgust.
Piece of shit.
Good. Danielle?
Piece of shit.
Okay. Just everything is straight, you piece of shit. Keep it small. Yeah. More time,
Piece
Danielle.
of shit. Piece of shit.
Again. Cool. One more time, Maria. Lock on. You know what she did, right? Don't go into anger. Stay with the thought I got. You're a piece of shit. It's not anger. Disgust. You make me sick. And said, let's change this to that piece of shit. You make me sick.
Make me sick.
Good, Maria. Good. Helen. You make me sick.
Sick.
And as soon as you lift it up, just hold it. After you say, you make me sick.
Make me sick.
A little higher on the sick.
Make
There you
me
go.
sick.
Good. And then just hold it. Bring the bottom lip up. Let me see it, Maria. Make me sick.
Make me sick.
And nice and easy. It's already there. You make me sick.
You make me sick.
Okay. All right. Now, put me on 1 second. That the ew. You make me sick. Make me sick. Yeah. You notice how I'm not exuding that much energy, but my message is getting across? Make me sick. There you go. Keep it symmetrical.
Yeah.
Good. Make me sick.
Make me sick.
Make sure that, Danielle, make sure that is up. Ew. Sick.
Ew.
There you go.
Sick.
There you go. Good. Now just put now don't put the force of anger behind it.
Make me sick.
Now, the key thing is here. Now, we're going to go. I'm going to take you all the way through this now. I want you to look at the person. You can switch her up, put anybody else you want on. Just know that you know what they did. And they just did it. So this event that took place. So it's going to make sense to your brain when you look at that person that you have that opinion of them. Now, as you look at the person, here's the hardest thing. Oh, I really like them. How can I make that assumption about them? As you look at the person right now, I want you to see what is on their face that makes them capable of carrying out what they just did. Do they look like they don't care about anybody else? Can you find it on their face? Is it in their brows? Do you think you're so above it all? You can do whatever you want to anybody? Where do you find it? On their face. Now, as you're looking at them, I want you to allow that thought to come in of what they did. And the thought is, yeah. That's your whole thought. Yeah. Nothing more than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once you have it, hold it, man. Now see if you make it small and just bring it up. Now don't even make the sound out loud. Think it. And you have to be the conductor here. The muscle has to be activated with that sound. Nothing else. Don't write any other story. Keep the stories. There you go. That was nice, Helen. You see, Marie? Just that. Lift it. Feel that lifting up?
Yeah.
There you go. Now you can once you have that, you have the thought, you know what they did. That's why you have that feeling towards them. Without exuding any other energy, keeping in that tone of that emotion, you make me sick. If you don't bring up the sick, you don't have a micro expression. You don't have a leakage of it. You have the word. Sick is what people are going to read. Sick.
Sick.
There you go. Good. Good.
Make me sick.
Good. Try not to bring any anger into it. This is disdain. This is a hatred. Sick. You're not even worth me hitting. Relax. Yeah.
Make me sick.
Good. Now, so you can make that a little bit smaller, Danielle. Without exuding that much energy. Make me sick.
You make me sick. Make me sick.
Cool. Good. Now, as you do it, are you feeling a change that's going underneath that? Now, the intensity that you're feeling is being controlled in a sense, because you're not just, you make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
As you watch them from a distance, you have this very strong opinion of them. Do you like her? No. That is one of the things, if they said they look with eyes that could kill. Who wants to be looked at that way? Now, if you were going to taste something that was rotten, then you would have the full expression of ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's what your reaction wants to be. Ew.
Yeah.
Very rarely are you going to use that. So here, let's do something. What is a smell that would make you go ew? You got one? Tell me. Everybody got one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to grab. Do you have an object that's right by you that you can grab? Okay. Now, I'm doing a shortcut on this. I want you to allow, as you bring that object closer to you, and as you breathe in, I want you to allow that smell. I want you to see if allowing your nose to recall that smell that you had already, you know what it is. See if you can't find it, and when you get it, you know where you're guiding that whole reaction to. All right, so you got the smell. I want you to find it on your object. And as soon as you found it, see what happens.
Ew.
Okay. Now, if you're letting it come in, if right away you want to go to the reaction, but you have to let that smell come in. And if it was really, what the smell is going to be now, if I said, okay, now the smell is stronger and you smell it as soon as you hit it with the right timing. Marie, let me see yours. Take a smell. See what you think. Is that nice? Good. Now I want it to be more distasteful than that. Let it be the full force that brings out the full expression of disgust.
Oh.
Yeah, good. Now give me a U.
Ew.
U.
Ew.
Ew.
There we go. Cool. All right. So that's one of the easier emotions. Now, where would this emotion come in? Anytime you find somebody to be offensive, somebody you have a disdain for, somebody you have a hatred for. It's not aggressive like anger. So don't confuse the two, anger and disgust. Okay? So disgust, you can look at somebody and have that and control the impulse to look away, but it's hard to control the impulse when it's something that's toxic. Right? Now, if you were playing a detective and you're looking down, there's the rotted body. That smell is going to come in. What does your body? How do you want to react to it? Is ew. That's when you're going to modify it because you're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Okay. But that's what's happening. The impulse to look away, you got to control all of those. All right. So for the disgust, anybody have a question on that? I want you to look up at the person. There's that person right now. You look down, and I want you to put that person back up on your screen.
Question. What person am I supposed to be looking at?
Well, whoever you were looking at before doing the disgust.
I was looking at both of them because I didn't know who was who.
Pick one, just anybody. You don't.
Okay.
As long as you have it. And what I want you to get, the first thing we did, we decide what the trigger was. So you know what your character's feeling. Why are they feeling that? All right. So in this scenario, you person you're looking at did this event that you personally right now find offensive. That's the story. Okay? Now you're going in for the casting director and you're reading, you got to make contact. There's a history between you and that person right now. Everybody follow that? Mm-hmm. There's a history. What is that history? You saw them do something that you find to be offensive. They lied about something, whatever it might be. I don't care what it is, something that you feel strongly about right now. You saw them. You created a little imaginary emotional memory to it. I'm going to get this a little bit more advanced, but let me give you a little taste of it. Back to your the little scenario you were creating without them. You were looking at the event. Okay, so I'll go back to the event. What they did. Allow it to unfold. What was the part that you feel connected to? Was it the way was it what they said? Was it what they did? You saw it. It existed. Once you see the part where you deem to be offensive, I want you to bring the disgust in. As if you're watching them right now. It may even be stronger right now. Make me sick. Sick. Good. So now that's memory. Memory becomes solidified when we bring emotion into it. Now you use somebody when somebody here for your imaginary event. If not, now just make them part of that event.
You make me sick.
Good. So what I want you to do is, I'm going to start with Helen, then I'm going to go Danielle, and then I'm going to go to Maria. You're going to be doing something, and I'm going to just say, look who walked in. And at that point, you're going to look up, and you're going to see whoever you're working with right now. As soon as you see them, let it come in and have that opinion about them, okay? Is that clear? You think of this scene as you walk in and there's the person who you hate. Okay. So everybody put Helen on a second. Let's watch her. And so Helen, you're doing something. Go ahead and look down and get involved in something. And I say to you, look who just came in. What they do. Yeah. Good. Good. Now you're going to have a line for me on this. You're going to look right back to the camera. What is she doing here?
Okay.
Okay. That's good. There we go. But you have to see who it is first. You can't just immediately go to the reaction. You have to see him and then let that feeling you. Helen, look who's here.
Oh.
Good.
Sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, make it small. You see it. You know why you have that feeling about them, right?
Yeah.
So seeing them, just let that internal.
Ew.
And then you can turn to me. So look where you see them. Maybe you look up and look straight to your left or right. You see them there. Actually, no. I tell you what. Just use me. I'm off camera.
Okay.
See them there, and then you can. What is she doing here?
Okay, what is she doing here?
Yeah. There you go. All right. So working, and hey, Marie, how you doing? Hey, Helen, look who just came in.
Oh, sorry. There's too many things in my head right now. Sorry.
You got two things to do.
Yeah.
See her, and just let that moment of seeing, and then the next thing, the sound to yourself. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
What is she
Now,
doing?
that sound to yourself, and make sure you feel that upper lip.
Ew.
There you go. So there's only two thoughts, or two things to do. See her, and allow that thought to come up, because you know why you have that. You know what she just did. There you go. Now try to make it smaller. There you go. Good. Try one more time. And as you work on something, look who just came in, Helen. Now, over to the side to me. What is she doing here?
What is she doing here?
Good. So you don't need to have all that energy because you're already in disgust.
Okay.
Don't add more into it. You're already there.
Okay.
Unless you got angry.
Okay.
Follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
That was good. That was good. Danielle, you want to try it?
Okay.
You know how these economizing of energy. As long as you're in the right emotional place, you feel those changes, you don't have to add anything more to it. It's there. I mean, before you go on, did you guys, were you able to see on that last one with Helen? The opinion she had of who she was looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So we want validation from each other. Going, I saw it. Okay, so Danielle, you're doing something. Know who you're going to be looking at. If you want to look at them right now and get connected, what makes them capable? Can you see how they don't care? You know, maybe they're not too bright. Crap. And it's this, nothing else of you. You're going to have that little sound to yourself. But you got to see them and allow that to come in slowly. Good. Try it. So you're doing something. Danielle, look who just came in. Good. So you don't need that exhale at the whole end. That's not being sure. You have to have the thought. There's one thought, nothing else. Don't add anything else to it. Thought. What's she doing here? Got it?
Okay.
Right. Hey, Danielle, look who just walked in. Thought. Yeah.
What is she doing here?
Good. Don't add, don't force anything else. You already it's already there. What is she doing here? Good. Try one more time. Small, just subtle. It's reading really big in a very subtle way. It's reading very clearly. So don't add anything else to it. Have the thought of you as that's rising up. There you go. Danielle, look who just walked in.
What is she doing here?
Okay. Now I need you to work on it. All that other stuff that's coming out right now is Olympic response. Not connected. Whoever you're looking at, you know what they just did. You have you saw them, they're cheating on their boyfriend, who happens to be your brother. What do you find? What would be offensive? Just having that thought. Once you see them, now there's a moment that happens when we see everybody. When we see something that is unexpected, or it has a strong impulse to it, when we don't know what to do, it's what I call the freeze. The freeze is an Olympic response where it's the smallest reaction you could have. If I'm doing something and something unexpected comes in, there's that moment of freeze because you don't know how to handle it. And all of a sudden, it starts coming up. Everybody look away 1 second. And now look to the person who you're going to be working with. You're not expecting them to be there, and freeze. Now freeze and then slowly let it come up. Good. The freeze, and we're not going to get into too much tonight because that's in the nail and the reaction part, but we just don't look at somebody and go, oh. There's a moment where that unexpected moment, because you wouldn't have that expression. If you knew they're going to come in, you knew they're happening, you wouldn't look at them and go, ew. You're not expecting them. So and whatever, oftentimes here, which is, again, a little bit more information I want to give right now. What happened was, I want everybody to kind of have a little bit of smile on your face. Look away. Just bring the corners up. Now you look to the person, bring that smile. When you see them, freeze. Now slowly let it drift off your face. That freeze is what allows us to transition from no to yes, from yes to no. But without it, we don't buy the moment. It is the transition. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And the more it counters what is he doing? Something had to come in, and then it starts to drift, and that might be just a reaction. That's what everybody is reading into. Does that make sense? When you have that moment, and all of a sudden it starts People are reading in the story. What the hell is going on? Let's practice that. All right, do it one more time, Danielle. So now when you see her breathe, then make sure that the sound is your thought. And just small. One more time. Here we go. Danielle, look who just walked in.
What is she doing here?
Much better, much better. Try to control the more you do it, if you practice it, you would stop the exhale and the inhale breathing. You're adding more to it than you need to add to it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's my nerves. I don't know what that is.
Quite possible. To me, it's Olympic response. You haven't grounded yourself in everything yet.
And those feelings too. The feelings are just kind of like, I'm hating this person right now. I'm disgusted by this person.
And we don't travel far away. We don't need all that. Cool. Yeah. We don't need all that energy. We need to be, the energy has to be contained. Okay, does it make sense? Maria, you want to try it?
Okay.
Now, before you start, get connected to the person that you're going to be seeing. Right? And you know who that is, and you look at them, and then even as you look at them, you piece it. You bring it up. Don't go to anger. Up and in. Let go of the tension in the bottom jaw. Try to lift it up. If you know you're in the right place, if it starts to shake. That's that little quiver. There you go. Okay. All right. You got that opinion towards them? Piece of crap. Then let's make you sick. All right, go ahead and do something not expecting them. I thought that was really fun having it. It was a great, hey, look who just came in. And what is she doing here?
What is she doing here?
It's like we're having a little party. And somebody invited her, and she showed up after doing what she just did. Okay, try it again. So I think we're gonna have a fun night tonight. It's gonna be really cool. Hey, hey, look who just walked in. Slow.
What is she doing here?
Good. Good. So now, as we're going on here, and I'll give her a little feedback. What was off on that? Did you see her? That's to Helen.
Yeah.
Okay. If you didn't quite catch it, it's fine. Because I'm going to start calling on you guys and going, so you got to pay attention to everybody now. Because part of telling
the problem with the it's just that sometimes the sound is off for me. I don't know why. There's a kind of distortion, so I'm sorry. Sometimes it takes.
Yeah, don't even worry. Even without the sound on, so don't worry about the sound. That sound would ultimately be so small.
Oh.
And it probably wouldn't even be outwardly. It'd be more of a underneath it. But what was off a little bit was the timing that it was taking you from seeing her. It was mostly the timing that was off. So try it one more time. And when you see her, take that moment. Once you realize who it is, then you can allow the opinion to come in. Okay, ready? So, yeah, I thought I was be wearing my blue shoes. Just came in. Thought that she did.
What is she doing here?
Cool. Feedback? What do you guys think that time? Danielle?
I like the subtlety to it. I know she might have messed up the lines or whatever the case was because you keep wanting to repeat piece of shit. I wanted to do it a couple times myself, but other than that, it was nice. It was subtle. It wasn't. I like how she held back and she let it come out.
You got a strong opinion. We're getting a strong opinion about somebody. There's no doubt that you don't like that person. When you see them. Now, the thing is, the circumstances are that we're at, maybe at a party or in a room, and somebody walks in and you see them and you weren't expecting them, and that opinion they just came up. Now, as soon as you recognize how you feel, is going to be the impulse. What is she doing here? Unless you were controlling that. But remember, the impulse to get away from is going to dictate that line. What is she doing here? As soon as that you felt that, you want to get rid of what's toxic. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
When we put this all together, the reason why we feel that way is because what they did. And we saw them. We have a strong opinion of them. Now, they're not in my life, so I'm not going to have that. What is she doing here? So the timing is going to tell us the history in it. If it happened a long time ago, it'd probably be easier to control and would take longer. But if it just happened, the impulse to get rid of that would be quicker. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, Ellen, you're the only one that didn't try it with the freeze. So get yourself in a good mood. I'll make you. Whatever. It's we're having a fun party time tonight, right? And look who just came in.
Oh, what is she doing here?
Good. Try it one more time. That was nice. See if you can't. This time here, we're going to go just a little bit slower. We're going to make this a longer history of a disdain for them. Now, you've had this feeling for a long time about that person. So you're going to let that slowly come down. And as soon as it comes up, what is she doing here? But you can control it. Try one more time. There you go. And so, I don't know. I thought I was going to wear that kind of like the pink hat with the blue shoes. Look who just came in.
What is she doing here?
Okay, good. Feedback? What do you guys think?
That was good.
I thought she did a good job.
Yeah.
Now, everything is telling a story. How quickly it came on, how the impulse, the way she said, what is she doing here? You can begin to tell a story about what you just saw. If I asked you to interpret that, what would you say? Or Maria, tell me the story. What you just saw. What was the story?
What I just saw,
Yeah.
that maybe it was a girl that was with her ex-boyfriend or with her current boyfriend.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And she seemed to be in a good mood. Did she seem to be like she expected her to show up?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. And so that's storytelling. You just told a story. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So the more you finesse that story, and the more that history is clearer and cleaner, it'll tell you the correct timing to pick it up, the intensity of how much you're going to reveal. If you didn't want me to see how your feelings of her, like that would diminish you, you'd have to control it even more, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be, ew, what is she doing here? You'd have it and then try to control it, but you feel it, so it's still on your face. But if you don't lift that up slightly, nobody will know that you hate her. You'll just be, what is she doing here? And going, okay, well, I got that she's upsetting you, but I don't get your hatred for her. Make sense? Anybody have a question, thought? Now, you guys can practice this. In fact, I'm going to let you do that for go around once or twice, practice this emotion, but try to connect it. I'm just going to view, but I want you, as each one, we'll start with Danielle, then go to Maria, then go back to Helen. Do it 2 times, but I want you guys to give each other feedback. Did you buy it?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the story is, okay? So, Maria, you'll talk to Danielle. Helen, you'll talk to Maria. And then Danielle, you'll talk to Helen. So you'll be playing me. There you go. So, Danielle, you're going to be doing something. Maria will say, look who just came in. All right, here we go.
Look who just came in.
What is she doing here?
You give her some, what was the story she just told?
She's upset that she doesn't want, like, her sister just came in.
Uh-huh. Okay. Did you get Helen, any feedback? Did you not buy the timing in which it happened? Did you feel that she doesn't care if anybody sees her? What you get?
I get from the timing, actually, it was somebody at work that that person gets on her nerves. And yeah, she can't stand her.
Okay.
That's what I got.
So let's do one where you're going to try to control a little bit of what you're feeling, have it, but you're above her. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that you're not going to just give yourself over to the big expression, have it. This is a more subtle version. I want it to be a little bit more subtle this time. That was good, though. Try one more time.
Look who just came in.
What is she doing here?
Okay. Now, I read almost a little bit like that she was managing anger, yes? Disgust. So it looked like you pissed her off. So you're in control of disgust, piece of crap.
I just didn't want that to show.
Yeah, that's the part about making it smaller.
Mm.
There you go. You can even make it a little bit smaller than that. So what I want you guys to practice is how small can you make it and still read it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And if you know, then you have to memorize that feeling. So you got to check it in the mirror, then have the thought. So the sound, the intensity of the sound, ew.
Ew.
Or it might be a small.
Mm.
So there's no ooh in it though.
Yeah.
There you go. Good. All right. So Helen, you're going to talk to Maria. Maria, you'll play it. You can even play it if you've been using Helen, use her, but her voice is coming from the side. So let's give some feedback. Let's do it and give some feedback to Maria.
Oh, wait, so I'm doing it?
Yeah,
Is
you're
that
going
what it is?
Yeah, they're going to give you some feedback. And then Helen, you'll say,
Look who just came in. Oh, look who just came in.
I started again. Get focused. There you go.
Oh, look who just came in.
What is she doing here?
What you see, guys. Read everything and tell her what you saw.
It's almost like she was expecting her.
Okay, good.
Mm.
Now we got to figure out, well, why did I read that? And then something else happened. Anybody else?
She was almost happy. I felt like almost like she knew she was coming, and it's almost a good thing.
And the reason why you saw that flip, the brow.
She was covering it up, maybe.
She really didn't know how she felt at that point. The actor didn't know how she felt. So, meaning that you got to get a little bit more connected to who is it they have this strong opinion about. And every time you look at them, you have that opinion because you know what they did. So upon seeing them, no other thoughts. There's no extraneous thoughts. You have one thought about that person. What is that thought? You. That's your thought. It's not, oh, what are you doing here? You're crowding your mind. I see them. I have one thought about them. Yeah. What's she doing here? Try it again, Maria. That was good. Here we go.
Look who just came in.
What is she doing here?
Good. Thoughts? Did you buy it?
And more.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what I want, because I want to encourage you guys to meet up on Zoom to practice without me. And part of the practice is setting up little scenarios like this and giving each other feedback. If you don't buy it, there's a reason why you didn't buy it. And if you know what those reasons are, you can guide each other. You know what? I didn't see you see them. You know what? It came on too fast. Or what you were expecting to see them. Those kind of issues of timing. You flicked your eyebrows before seeing it. That was kind of an unconscious leakage of the actor, not the character. Okay. All right. Let's go with Helen. So Danielle, you're gonna tell her. Look who just came in. So have a little, everything's good. So starting in a different place.
Hey, look who just walked in.
What's she doing here?
Okay. Feedback. Did you buy it?
It was very subtle.
Yeah.
Okay. But you got a dislike. Okay, so now, all right. So then, if it was really subtle, as the director, can you make that a little bit stronger? How do you make it a little bit stronger? Say it. Make the sound just a little bit stronger to yourself, and lift it up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make that smooth. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So do it. Yeah. And now see if you can't bring up both of them at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, if the teeth are showing, it's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
Keep that bottom lip up with the top. Yeah, now make it smaller. Right there. Yeah, a little higher.
Ew.
Okay, I want you to practice that because if you do, everybody will see that. You can't help it's bigger. So just right here.
So without saying it, just.
You can think this now.
Mm.
There you go.
Mm.
And keep Danielle to your left or your right when you talk. Here you go. One more time.
Look who just walked in.
What is she doing here?
Feedback.
It was a little bigger, but it still felt controlled.
Okay, so it's fine in that distance now. What you could do is everybody put themselves on. Pin yourself right to the center. And then just
Ew.
with the sound of start small.
Mm.
See how subtle you can make it.
Mm.
Now lifting it up, stronger. Mm.
Mm.
Bring it up a little bit higher. Yeah.
Mm.
At this point here, it's going to start wrinkling the nose. Right there, you should feel it. For some of you, you'll feel it shaking. So careful, so it's part of the structure of your jawline, Maria, but you like to bring tension to the lips. So see if you can't relax that, just this upper part here. It's going to be hard because you don't use it. Yeah. Good. Now see if you can't relax with that, Danielle. Hold it. That's your disposition. You are like, you find everybody to be distasteful a little bit. Working degrees.
Are you talking about naturally or are you talking about right now?
No, I want you to treat it as though it is your disposition.
Got it.
You find everybody to be distasteful. This is what you would see I can't tell you how many movies you'll see the girls who they cast. They always have that kind of, that's a bitchy face. Do you feel it, Helen?
Yeah.
Now, you think how simple that is, but if you know that that's the feeling that you have, cool. All right. So we're going to practice in different situations.
You know what? I feel like when you modify your muscles in your face, it actually modifies the way you see things instantly.
If you bring it up, can you look around your room as though everything is distasteful for you? Have a that needs to be cleaned. It's a real shithole. So you can have an opinion, even though your place may be really nice, but for you, this is a shithole. You live here? I look at all the stuff you guys got going on back there. Yeah. And then you say, no, you say, it's nice.
It's nice.
Can you say nice?
Nice.
It's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that called? Right?
Okay. It's nice.
Let's stretch face, take a few moment break. We're going to move into the emotion of anger. And I want to take a moment on what are you, if you go back to those triggers, what is your trigger for anger? And what could somebody done or in the middle of that would make you angry? So just about anything, when we come down to it, if you work on this, almost anything can disgust you. You can find almost anything to be offensive. Can you smell the air? Yeah, it stinks in here. But you got to smell it first. It stinks. Now, if you got, and you have to feel that control of, they go, oh, that's, that's way too big. Why is it way too big? You brought too many, you allowed too much of the muscle groups to get activated. Any questions so far?
I do. I have a question.
What's that?
What can, like someone like me, what can I do when I'm trying to focus on that trigger? It's sometimes it's hard for me to hold on to that internally or mentally. When I can have it while I'm looking away, and then I'll look up at the person and
look at the person right now. You just created an imaginary emotional memory with. Look, they just came in again. And as long as they're there, you have an opinion of them. And unless you get your mind off on something else. It's there. Why? Because you have this relationship with them. They make you sick. So it works both ways. We don't go in life. We don't keep trying to go back to why somebody upsets us. We don't sit and dwell. It's as long as they're in our presence, or we're in that train of thought about them. We stay in it. I think that we're just doing too much work to stay in it. It's already there. If you look back up at the person again, there they are. They're still here. Make you sick. I get away from them. And it's not that now, Danielle, if you create that history, you don't have to keep going back in and recreating the trigger. It's already there. Does it make sense?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Maria, are you okay, Maria?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you're stretching your face there for a second. All right. Let me see everybody's brow. We're going to make the sound of, no, let's go to surprise first. All right. So the brows, that resonator, we're going to find them. Just kind of locate what they are. Just flick them. Just a small flick. I want you to feel what that feels like, because if you're doing that constantly throughout your scene, it's just a nervous twitch. What? Now we're going to take that, and we're going to bring up this resonator here. Bring it up. Now hold it. Now put you on there. You should be able to lift them up, making that sound, and the eyes stay relaxed and the mouth stays relaxed. So the sound, I want you to think, you can say it outward like this way. Really?
Really?
Yeah, hold it. Really?
Really?
Good. Now, and keep it up. And then relax it. And So the sound goes up to here. Now, you won't have to do that. Ultimately, you can make any sound you want if you want. You just have to know that it's going from here. Cool. Let's go to the second one. Now we're just going to raise the eyes. So the sound is right here. If I bring the brow up here. So if I'm talking up here, this is vibrating right now. It's, wow, really? But now, can you make a sound so it vibrates right in your nose? You feel that vibration? Put your finger on right there. That's that. Who's making that? That's a little too low. That's more nasal. A little higher. So it's the sound of. So the eye, just the eyelids raised. Good. Now, when you do it, bring it up and hold it. Now, for some, make sure there's no tension below it. Ellen looks at a little tension below the eye. Yeah. So put your yourself on there. So you're gonna give me two sounds. You're gonna go and then relax it. So that'd be really, really. Holy goodness gracious! Wow. Can you feel that almost? If there's no tension, there should be incredible interest. Really? Tell me about it. What is it? That's the excitement. Can you hear the excitement in the voice when you're coming from that resonator? Now imagine this. Wow, can you feel the excitement in the voice when you're coming from not coming from that resonator? Wow, I really sound excited. Wow, wow, really? Wow, really? If it's not activated, the excitement's in here. Now let's go into the third one, which is now with the mouth for surprise. On the resonator video, I gave you two. One is quicker, and so it's an inhale as the mouth drops. Let me see. Go ahead and do it. So, but make sure what you're looking at, make sure you really look at something. And you should be kind of drawn to whatever it is you're doing. Feel that, almost that leaning in. There you go. Good. That was good, Danielle. See, Ellen? Let me pin you here. So making the sound. Good. Good. That was good. Let me see, Maria. Okay, not the brows, just the mouth. Okay, so look right into your camera or right at the photo. So you're looking at something? There you go. Good. Now feel that. It goes right down. There you go. So it doesn't go back and it's being pulled right down to here. So it's almost like it almost puts the head forward, but it doesn't really, because if somebody just said something, that energy is going forward. Now we're going to do this slowly, and it's going to be first with the eyes, and then we're going to follow it with the, but you have to see it first. As soon as you lock on, you see it, that moment, that freeze, the eye is going to widen and followed by the mouth and the brows together. So the sound of, you put yourself on and look at yourself a second. Try it. Good. That was good. Now, making the sound so you're not just raising the mouth. Good. Now see if you can make the speed upon seeing it. As soon as the eyes start to widen, then allow the sound to follow. Good. Good. Keep working to sync them up. So let me see, Danielle. So if you're, let's do it in slow-mo. You turn and you see the person, and then slowly eyes widen. So as soon as you feel those eyelids coming up, that's what follows by the sound. Make sure that brow, if you don't make the sound of this, it goes down. Yeah, so feel that stretch of the brow going up, Danielle, so that brings the sound. Let me see, Maria. You got to turn and make sure you see whoever you have on there, even if it's yourself. See? Good. Now, what I want you to do is slow this down, and we're going to apply the freeze. So taking it, and as soon as you freeze, as soon as you stop, good. Make sure you feel that stretch on the eyes. Good. Now do it in slow motion for me now. Turn to the camera, freeze, eyes widen, wider, and now follow. Good. So I know the stretch, I know that, and it's funny because I was working with this little Asian kid, and I'm getting him to do his eyelids, and his father's, Caucasian, and after working with him about 10, 15 minutes, he goes, you do know he's Asian, right? But who is doing surprise in my book?
Oh yeah, an Asian lady.
Yeah.
And she had the same thing because we don't stretch that, but it will stretch. So lifting that eyelid up and keep working on the eyelid until you see the whites above the eyes. The whites above the iris, I'm sorry. Pupil. Keep lifting. A little wider. There you go. Look how wide they get. So surprise is about timing. And so having them all, now what I want you to practice for a few moments is seeing it and getting it so it's not doing this. It's a little bit quicker, but you have to slow it down to get it quicker enough for yourself. So I want you to practice that a little bit on your own. Okay, good. Now, Helen, every time you move a muscle group, I need to hear a sound. That means there's a thought connected to it. So make sure you bring the sound in. There you go. That was nice. That was nice. Keep working, Danielle. Cool. Now keep working to get them in rhythm. Now, one of the things for you is you lift from the outside of your brow. How do I know that? Because that's where they're arched. They're arched out here.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so it's coming up here so that this part here is going to stay lower than this out here. So I want you to try to lift straight up. There you go. That feels different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. But you're going to get more control over the muscle groups if you're lifting from the right place. Because it's trying to lift out here, and they're not moving or they're moving in a different way. Good. Keep practicing. Good. Stretch that on those eyelids. Mm-hmm. There you go. Good. So you don't need your body to lift the brow. That's what's happening, okay? So it's as you're looking, you have to slow it down so you see the eyes start to widen. And it's that last breath going up that's going to bring in the brows for you right now. Good. See it, freeze, let the eyes widen. Freeze, widen, and the mouth. I know it's kind of like, does it feel like if you're rubbing your tummy? And did we lose Helen? Did she drop out?
Mm.
Yeah. Back in. All right. Go ahead and keep practicing. She should be back here. There she is.
Helen!
Lose connection? Helen?
Sorry, my computer shut down.
Okay, cool.
That's what happened. Yeah.
So I need you guys are doing great. But I need to now to follow it all the way through. And that follow through is when I go from the surprise, next is that moment of being disoriented by what's happening, right? So if I did in slow-mo, I see what there's something that's going to follow that. And it won't organically follow it because you're not really surprised, so you have to introduce it into it. Now you have that sensation, and then you want clarity. Okay, so Danielle, if I asked you, Helen comes in and you see her and you're surprised. Why? Why might you be surprised? It's a party and you're seeing her, and it's a full surprise. Why?
We used to be really close, and I haven't seen her in years.
You haven't seen her in years, and she shows up. But why are you surprised?
I didn't know she was going to be there.
Didn't know she was going to be there. All right. So you might be able to control it. Oh, there she is. So, but why is this so unexpected?
It's an award show, and she's been nominated.
Okay. Now, if she was supposed to be someplace else.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes,
where was she supposed to be? If you were just talking to her in Canada, and all of a sudden you went to this award show in New York, and she was there, would that event be surprising?
Yeah, that would.
Okay. But at the same time,
she's married now.
Okay.
That's why.
All right. So we need to find out. All right. So, but there's still an element of it that's not missing. It's missing. So I'm surprised. Is it, how did she get there? Is that what you're surprised about? Are you surprised that upon seeing her, there's an element that is unexpected, that because she could be there and going, oh, hey, so great you're here. I thought you were in Canada, but you're not. So there's something about it that's unexpected that we need to connect into. So let's all build this together. Maria, what element might that be?
Maybe she was, the last time that I saw her, she was very sick, and now she's here. She was bedridden, and I didn't know if I was going to see her again, and now she's at my party.
Maybe you heard a story about her that she was really sick and didn't know if she even made it. Would that be surprising to see her, especially? She's supposed to be dead?
It's a miracle.
All right. I'll give you all. Let's see how this scenario works. It's for one of the other, whoever you're going to look at. You all had some incriminating evidence that was that you hang on. You both were covering for somebody at this office party, and they show up at the party, but you already committed to another story, and then they show up. Would that be surprising?
Mm.
And everything's under control. Can you flush that out a little bit to come up with the circumstances? Why is it surprising that they show up at this party, and what might it do because they do?
Does that mean that we're supposed to be covering for them and they just showed up, and now what we just said, the stories don't match? Is that what you're saying?
The stories don't match.
Okay.
So the unexpected, you told whoever it is, whatever you do, just don't come to the party. Just stay here. And all of a sudden they show up. What are you doing here? Okay. So the reason why we need to have these circumstances really kind of fleshed out is because you need to know why you're disoriented by this. So what would be the first things, since I have Danielle on here, what would be the first thing that would come out of your mouth as they're here? What circumstance could you build? What would be the thing that would come out of your mouth?
Am I talking to them or someone off camera?
It might be.
If I'm talking right to them, it's what are you doing here?
Okay, so it's not to them. You see them from
from afar. Oh, great. What is he doing here?
All right, so now that's already jumped into an opinion. I want this. What? You don't even know where you're going to go with it because you're still.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
So let's take that scenario and let's play with it and see if we can't follow it all the way through from the moment of disorientation, and then it's trying to get clarity. Does everybody follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. Who wants to go first? Who wants to try it first? Nobody. Okay, I got to call it in. All right. All right. So, Maria, you're already on my screen, so you're going to go first. So, you'll talk to whoever it is. It could be Daniel over on the other side, or it doesn't matter who you're talking to. Just pick somebody you're going to see. So, I want you to do it in slow motion. In fact, it's a little bit of an improv between, we'll do it with Danielle now. So the improv is everything's good, the boss body. And then all of a sudden you'll turn and you'll see Helen.
She don't want to change because she's afraid.
And then what the hell is she doing here? Whatever's going on. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So little quick thing. The boss bought the whole story about Helen.
Okay.
All right, here you go.
So everything's cool. He bought everything. He believes that she's sick and at home.
Cute. There she is.
Oh, shit. What is she doing here?
Okay, it's the surprise. Not the dialogue. We're gonna read oh shit on your face.
Oh, okay. So the boss believed everything. Everything's cool. So
Good?
yeah, everything's good.
Good. Oh shit, look who came in. Okay. Now, everybody take a moment, practice that, because this is the hardest of all the emotions, believe it or not. because you got to get everything with the right timing. So take a moment for yourself to practice that. And look, you see it. There's that freeze. But as soon as you freeze, the eyes have to widen. On the freeze, the eyes widen, followed by the, and that is your surprise. That's your thought. That's your whole inner monologue. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Try it again. Try again, Maria.
So everything's good. He believed everything, so we can have fun.
Well, we're so money on this. We're so going to get away with this.
Oh, hell yeah.
We came in. Okay. I give it. Ellen, give her some feedback. And the feedback might be, I didn't see the eyes widen enough. I didn't see that you saw them. I didn't see the surprise cut off too short. Any thoughts?
It was pretty good.
Okay. Let's see, Danielle. Any thoughts?
Oh, I was trying not to watch her to distract her because I was supposed to be the friend at the party.
You can watch her.
Okay.
All right, try it again. What I want you to see this time, Maria, is I want you to, where is she? So put a mark on a wall. Look, see where you see her. Okay. So pick a point you're going to look, and as soon as you look, it's going to. Okay. So you can go to that spot each time, and then bring the rest of the sounds. And then once you have that, why are you surprised? Oh, God, my God, something is probably going to turn into a little fearful surprise. Go ahead and try it one more time.
So everything's good. We can have fun. She won't be showing up today.
Well, we should be able to get away from this. Boom.
Hell yeah.
Somebody comes in, door opens. Okay, this is great. Okay. Now that you have to stay present every moment, because as soon as you did it, you forgot why you're surprised. Okay. So this is practice, guys. So Danielle, you want to go next? Try it.
Okay.
Okay. So you're talking. I guess it really doesn't matter. You're talking to somebody, and you see somebody. So I need to give you a cue on that. When you hear me do this, the door opens, and then you turn and see them. Okay.
Okay. Let me figure out where my island is. I just lost.
Figure out where it is. And if this was the reaction you're going for your audition, guys, you need to find out where each of these points are. Because I guarantee if you don't know your sight line, you don't know where you're looking, and you don't know what you're surprised about, it's not going to be there. And this is the money one.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And so this is a very stressful situation. You know, it's really important that we carry this through. You're going to get fired. You know that, right? Unless this works out. She's good though, right?
Yeah, she.
Boss bought it?
Yeah, she's going to stay home. We're good. We're all right. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Let's just try to have fun, okay? Oh, God.
So off the top of what the hell, what did, remember that the reason she's showing up, there's no way in hell she should be here. So figure out what you would, or attempt to make sense out of it.
Okay.
Even if you don't say it, you got to stay in it. All right, try it again. This better work. This better be, you know.
Don't worry. We're good. She's going to stay home.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I'm going to get a drink.
Let's just try to have a good time, okay? Oh, my God.
Do it one more time. Make it quicker, though.
Okay.
You can make that all smaller. There you go. But make sure you get it with the eyes. If the eyes don't widen, there you go. That was nice. Then follow through with the impulse. There you go. That's it. There you go. All right. So she's gone. She's not going to show up, right? That's you're positive?
Yes,
Okay.
we're good.
I'm feeling so good about this. I know it's going to work out okay.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Good. Helen, what's your thoughts?
It's good, but I don't know why she's looking everywhere. I think it loses a bit of its strengths
So not sure where the trigger is.
after, like the emotion. I mean, I got the surprise right, but after.
I think that what the moving is trying to figure out how she's going to be disorganized.
Okay.
And I think
Where's the boss there? Does he see what's going on?
but it's got to be done in a way with the intention of getting clarity, not to sort things out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the focus is on whoever you're seeing. You know, so right. It's only a moment of that. That's all I want. Try one more time.
Okay.
And so this better work out, or we're screwed.
Yeah, I know. We're good. She said she's gonna stay home tonight.
So I'm 100%. She's going to do this. There's no way she would. It would be
No,
like the worst thing to do. Okay. So everybody get this? It's not a. It's a. There you go. And but keep it in the face, not with the body. The body wants to go back. So stretching there. All right. Let's get Helen, give it a shot. All right. Ready? And so you're talking, figure out what we're going to do. So if this was your audition, that was the moment, walk through it. I turn, I see, I freeze. And just so you can feel where all that moment, I freeze and then the next moment on there. So go ahead, walk through it on your own. Where do you see her? She walks in. Okay, cool. All right. So if you look at them too long, guys, then you're not going to be surprised. It's got to be that freeze. If you have time to think about it, you won't be surprised. There you go. Okay, so let's try it. So this is going to work, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
I'm
positive.
I'm freaking out. There's no way.
No, don't do that.
All right. Okay. Little fear on the end.
Yeah, that's guilty.
Make the sound so it goes up. Because the brows didn't rise that time. Yeah. Try to lift. There you go. Feel that stretch up there a little higher. Yeah. But let it come from the eyes. You see it. There you go. That's it.
Okay.
Now you can work to make that a little bit smaller, but I want you to get all the muscle groups right now. Try to get. Ready? So, all right. So we're gonna get screwed if it doesn't work out.
No, don't worry.
Good? It's good.
Yeah, everything's good.
Cool. All right. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna go get a drink. All right. Feedback, somebody?
That was good. I liked her surprise.
What about the moment of disorientation?
This time or the first time?
This time here.
I felt like the disorientation wasn't as clear as it was the first time. The first time was more clear. She knew she was afraid, and it read.
Okay. So don't be not a reaction. This is a cognitive thing. Because what are you doing here? It's so unexpected that you don't have an answer for it. You're trying to figure out the answer. Does that make sense? It's a little bit more difficult to play. There you go. Yeah. I want why. So just feel that impulse. And right now, but based on this story, what are you doing here? It would make sense, right? But you can't say that to them because they're far away. All right, try one more time. And so, all right, so this has to work, or we're all screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gave her the medication. She should be sleeping. There's no way, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
All right, cool.
She's knocked out.
All right, all right. She's knocked down. That's good now.
Totally.
Let's relax.
Yeah.
Okay. So that becomes more unexpected. You gave her enough pills to put her out to sleep for a week, and she shows up. Okay, and if she shows up, with all those pills, imagine what they would be. Valium, Quaaludes. So this one here, practice this one. There's other levels, different degrees of surprise. See if you can't make it smaller, but all three come in. Make sure that brow goes up. Try it smaller now. Everybody, it's for everybody. Go ahead, work on it. Make it a little bit smaller. Make sure all three are still activated. And you can't hold it too long. If you hold too long, it's going to be fear. And then, so the next moment after the surprise, what? Leave the eyes, yeah. It all depends on the situation. How's yours coming, Maria? Freeze. Let it start with the eyes first, Maria. Yeah, you go. Make sure you make that sound. Yeah. That was much better when that time, Maria. Make the sound. Make the sound so I can hear it, guys. You can always adjust the sound later.
What are you doing here?
Good. Good. If the eyes don't happen, Danielle, first, then you didn't see it. That's what it's very technical, but the eyes will start to move first, followed by it's really quick. There you go. Good. Now just make that sound, and then go with the next. What's the next impulse? Did you imagine you walked out and it's a commercial where your husband gets you your brand new Mercedes, and we got welfare checks. Where did you get the money to do this? Very unexpected. See it first. That was good. You have all the muscle groups, but now just working for the being it. Make sure you make the sound, Helena.
Where did you get the money for this?
Good. Now the finessing part is, since you're disoriented, you don't know what you're going to say. So don't have an exact line that's there. Make sense out of it first. The next moment after that is, once you made sense of it, then you want to know, well, what the hell are you doing here? So are you following that moment? It's just a moment. I don't know what to say. And then now, right when you're in that moment, that's when you're trying to assess it, and you want an answer. So follow the impulses all the way through. Does that make sense, guys? I know it's a little tricky, but you got it. We're getting it. It's looking nice. All right, we're going to take a little bit of a break on this before we get into anger. And what time is it now? I realized last week we went 4 hours.
Yeah.
Actually, we went 4.5 hours. And we only took a 15-minute break.
Hmm.
You believe that?
Yeah.
Troopers.
Okay, so it's now what time is it?
8:45.
8:45. All right, so we're gonna take a couple of short ones so after we work each emotion. We'll take another 10 minutes because once I start going with the other emotions, it's gonna start hurting a little bit. So let's go 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right. All right. Here it comes. So, how we doing so far, Helen?
Unfortunately, I didn't hear the last part much. I don't know why my internet connection got really bad. So that's why. But I think I got the idea at the end, but that's why I was always walking around.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. What just so I know about surprise, it is the one that's technical, and we have to put all the elements to it. And it's one that once you practice it, it's really easy. It's just making sure you have all the three muscles activated for the full surprise. And what happens to most people is they'll do the surprise and then they'll cover their face. So that's a trick, and I'm not really big into tricks. I think you can find an interesting way of dealing with that. And a lot of times what will happen is people don't want to be taken off guard. So that you get a surprising moment, and then you'll try to go into the freeze. Really. And so that freeze is, when we're in the freeze mode, it allows us to assess the situation. All right. Now, if once you grab that, and we're going to be working more with that when we get into the reaction stuff, but once you grab the concept of the freeze, it could save your ass so many times, especially in audition. It's like an actor thinks that, I need to know how the character feels, right? And and then sometimes you go, I don't know how they're feeling. Well, isn't it possible the character doesn't know how they're feeling also?
Yeah.
And if you don't know how you're feeling, you go to the freeze. You tell me something, right? And I don't know how to take that. There'll be that moment of freeze while I'm assessing. What? And that moment, again, if you can, work it, finesse it so that it grows organically out of the moment. Your reaction to almost especially in commercials, that it may be no reaction at all, but no reaction isn't the reaction; it's the freeze. Mm-hmm. And that part that you are assessing, you're so connected, but you're trying to figure it out while everything else is frozen. Does that make sense, guys? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead into, I don't know if we'll get all these done. I got a question for you before we go on, though. We're going to be down to 3 people in this class right now because of a health issue and just overworked. Are you any of you available on Saturdays? No? Okay. All right. No problem. Yeah, if I can't have all of you, I can't have any of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or not.
All right. So with the anger, we're going to go into the anger, then I'm going to come back to go to the fear. So with the anger brow, first, what is a trigger for it? I want you to have something handy. Is there something that I could even say? Do you know what it is that you are sensitive to? Accusing you of doing something you didn't do? Accusing you unfairly? Interfering with a goal? That I am about to tell somebody something that will do harm to somebody else? Would that be a trigger for you? You think about that. Think about somebody who you really care about. If I was going to do something that would cause them harm, would that make you angry?
Yeah.
And who would that person, to tell me, but who would that person be? And what is it that I could do that would interfere with their happiness, interfere with their goal to succeed, interfere with their self-esteem? All right. So we had the brow going up of, Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the brow going down. Now, from here, So we went, Now you want to bring it down in towards here. So it's going in, squeezing together over the nose. Make the sound. Let me see. Go bring it right into the camera. So as you're working, let me see it. Danielle. Now we make sure. Now bring it back down again, Danielle. Now wrinkle your nose. Okay, see where that brow went down to right there? So you got to put a little extra pull into it when it comes down. Otherwise, you may end up with just a worried brow. So Maria, bring it down towards the nose. There you go. It's coming down. Feel where it is right now? Do it again. So right as you get it down, then you start moving it. So just you feel it. You put your finger here. Now you want to do that so you're not wrinkling the nose, but that's where the muscle will come down to. Let me see, Helen. Okay, good. All right, that one's easy for you. So now making the sound of Now, everybody bring it in and try to hold it there. As if you're working on solving a problem. I just said something. What? I was giving you a math equation to figure out. What? If you look around, was that chair always there? So look at it and have the thought, So careful not to bring it down to the mouth when you do it, Ellen. Just, If the sound's up here, it's not down in the mouth. Yeah. Let me see, Danielle. Good. Now relax the mouth. Bring it down. Good. Let me see. Now, can you see where where that's going, Maria? That's going to worry. Just bring it down, and again, that sound. This is something that you would spend a little time with, just bringing it down until you found where that muscle is going down. Now you're going to do great sad, but let's do down to nose. So put your finger right here and try to squeeze the brow in down a little lower, Maria. Down a little lower. There you go. Now try to bring the brow down there. There's a muscle that right here. It's Procerus muscle, and it's just a strip and bring it down. Now, if you're in the right place with this, it should be almost thoughtful, or it could be, if you backed away, to be more disbelief. What? You bring it down. Can you feel that a little bit of perplex?
Yeah.
Or disbelief? Danielle, can you feel that? Okay. Now, if they said you're looking at it and you're confused by what somebody's saying, that'd be perplexed, but that would be questioning. That's what? Try to do it without moving any other muscle groups in the face. Okay. Everybody just kind of keep practicing that. Have the thought, and the brow comes down. Now the thought is, It's getting there, Maria. Just keep working it. Yeah. But that last one, when you get it down, then you want to bring it up. So just feel where that's changing. Okay, it's getting there. It's getting there. Right there. Right at that last moment. Bringing it up. Okay, so you see now, Helen, bring it down. Now you know how we were lifting the eyes in surprise. There you go. So bring it down. Now hold it. Now lift that eyelid up into the brow. Now hold that. Feel what that's feeling like. Do you feel like all of a sudden that intensity grew? Bring it down. So it's now. So once that eyelid lifts up, you've gone into excitement with this emotion of anger. Daniel, let me see what Try it with you. Bring the brow down. Bring it down harder. Now, when you do that, now what's that feel like for you?
Stronger.
Bring it, try to bring it. It's like what's happening is the brow's coming down, the eyelid's coming up.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the more you put pressure on it, so when you try that, Maria, try to bring it down and lift in the eyelid now, bring it all the way in. So just relax the face and just bring it down. Make the sound with it. So it's after that. So you're going to be really good at the sad. Okay. All right, so here's what I want you to do, Maria. Actually, everybody put me on 1 second. And let me put myself on here. Okay. So right underneath the eye, the orbicularis oculi right here, there's a muscle that runs right along or right around the eye. So I want you to see if you can find it. And you see what I'm doing there? Now notice my eyes, I'm not narrowing them up. See if you can find that muscle. See if you can find it. If you have to, hold it here and try to squeeze it in. Now try to do it without, leave the upper eyelid, Danielle, alone, and it's right under the eye, and try to squeeze that muscle towards the nose. Yeah, okay, now you're squeezing, you're dropping the upper eyelid as you're doing it. Just squeeze it in, yeah. And try to keep working, you're finding it. And see if you can do it so the eyes stay wide or open. Not wide.
I know it's hard to keep my top lid up. My top lid up.
Well, part of that is just once you find it, it's a little tense. Now it's over in here. So what happens is this muscle underneath gets tense and it raises the eyelid as opposed to raising the bottom eyelid. Don't do anything with the bottom eyelid. Just feel that muscle tensing underneath it. Try to bring it towards your nose. Let's see. Like you know, people who are nearsighted, they squeeze underneath the eyelid. Let's see, did you find it, Helen?
Yeah.
Let me see. Good. Yeah. Now, when you do that, can you feel like a greater focus?
Yeah.
Just that little twitch, or like a little squeeze, allows us to know something just happened. See if we do it quickly. Okay. So we want to do it so it doesn't close the eye, just enough, because you're bringing the bottom, you're squinting the eyes a little bit. And that it kind of looks like a squint, but it's not. It's just Let's see. Just try to just a little bit, Daniel. Just see what happens. Just squeeze a little bit. Yeah. It's getting there.
My eyes are so slanted.
That's because we're narrowing them up to saying that. Okay, that was good, Maria. When you did it, when you felt it, did you feel any more like focus?
Yeah.
That's also the beginning of anger too.
Yeah, true.
So the eyelids can do it right. When they start, when that comes in, something must have happened for you to have that focus and that tension in the eye. As you bring it in and bring that little bit of tension underneath the eye, because I just said something. What? What did I just say? What am I about to do? Yeah, I'm going to tell him. So it might all be in the eyes in that case, but what it is, it's all in the lid. Now, if you hold that down, the brow down, no, never mind, don't do that. Let's see how we're looking. There you go. All right. What's that feeling like, Maria? Like somebody's got your attention? Okay, good. Now hold it there, and Maria, just drop the mouth a little bit, and just shut the jaw slightly. Keep holding it. Keep that tension. Mm-hmm. There you go. Good. Can you feel a little bit of the anger beginning to build up inside now? Doesn't feel like worry, does it? Because when you were doing the anger before and feeling, when you were doing it for the screen test, you were bringing that brow in a little bit, and that's what was giving you the mixed feelings. On how you doing? Oh, good. That's good. That's good. Now, Danielle, as you're doing it, bring that down, and then making the. Now, see if you can bring in 2 of the muscle groups. Or bring in the 1 and then just the jaw, but don't lock the jaw down. Just move it slightly. You should feel an energy begin to build up inside. Uh-huh. Once you lock it down, you're going to want to do something. Just move it left and right, like you're chewing something over. Uh-huh. Cool. How we feeling? Everybody good. All right, let it drop, guys. Oh, how's that physiology? Okay, cool. Maria?
Yeah, I think I'm getting
changes? Now, in that, there's also, as it's running through, I need you to allow those impulses to go to the hands. You want to grab something,
Yeah,
you might have to control it so you don't do that. Try not, but at the same time, allow that impulse, but try not to tense it. There's a energy that's beginning to build inside. It wants to do something, but you still got to hold off. Now, once you get the anger, that moment there, you're going to either have to break it, or you have to break one of the muscle groups. Because if you don't, you got to take the action. You're going to hold off as long as you can, controlling those impulses, wanting to jump, wanting to leap. Feel that. Control that. Good. Now, Maria, as you're doing it, let the head drop down slightly. Feel the jaw going out. Feel that tension beginning to build in the eyelids. Now let's put the trigger to it. And in this case here, the person's about to do something. And having in mind, if it is something they're going to do to somebody else, then they're going to say. Know what it is, who they're going to say it to. Put one person on there you can look at. And now, I want you to find on their face what makes them capable. In fact, just put me on. And you can see in me, what makes it capable that I could do something like that? And then I would also get enjoyment doing it. Now we're going to bring in one at a time. Right? Yeah. I have no problem doing that. In fact, you know what? Here comes the next trigger. I'm going to enjoy it. And you know what else? Here's the final trigger. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. Feel like you want to reach out right now. You want to grab hold of me. Well, take it. Leap. Come on. Do it now. I want one reason why you can't do it right now. Why can't you say what's on your mind right now? Because you know what? I'll use it against you. Okay. I want to build it up a little bit more, Maria. Feel that brow come down hard. It's good. Now feel the eyelid. Let go of the bottom eyelid. Feel the upper eyelid lifting up. Feel that upper eyelid going right up to the brow. It's there. Good. I want you now. Don't go to disgust. There you go. All right. Everybody let it go. I walked out. I want you to feel what this feels like now. What's it feel like in your body? Don't lose it. I just walked out. Then I want you to think that son of a bitch. Son of not ready to come in. You want to seek revenge right now. Let it relax. Let it drop. You can feel the heart beating. Calm yourself down. What are you going to do to calm down? Inside the inner thought, I'll kill you. I'm going to come back to this one more time because we got to add in. How you guys feeling with this so far? Maria, how was it feeling for you? Did you feel any changes, wanting to go into tears at all?
A little bit towards the end, like I can feel like my heart racing and like my eyes watering up. But I don't know if it's because of I'm so focused.
I think it's overwhelmed. I think it's you're feeling it and you want to do something you don't know what it is that you can do right now because you can't reach in there. You can't. So it's like it's overwhelmed. All right, as we're going to do it, I'm going to give you 3 triggers, and each one's going to intensify. And the first one is, so I saw him. Whoever that person is, make that make sense. I saw him. And I'm going to tell them. And the third one is not a damn thing you can do about it. And I'm so going to enjoy it. Now, in your head, you're saying, oh, I want you to have an aggressive, I can kill you right now. I want you to see your hands wanting to reach out and you want to grab something right now. You want it? You want a piece of it? You want it? You think you can take me on? You can't take me on. You're just a girl. Now I'm going to have so much fun screwing you. And then walk out. If your boss just fired you, whatever he did. I want you to see how could you get revenge right now? What would you do? And let it go. What it feels like. Alan, tell me your experience on that emotion that time.
Well, I definitely felt tensed, and I wanted to jump off to beat the crap out of. Yeah.
If the scene, now that anger that was sitting there, you weren't doing anything.
No.
You know, it didn't come from your physical action. It came from the trigger associating me with what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we bring in one of the muscle groups, it immediately connects us to that event.
Sure.
And then we allow the next one. It just happened naturally because there's nothing you can do, and I'm intensifying it by enjoying it. And then maybe I added in a little of the humiliation. And so you don't need much more than that to wanting to leap and do something, but you can't. And there's been a situation, a boss is firing you and humiliating you, and wanting to do this, and you can't do it. Daniel, how was your experience of that time?
I felt the first time I was more into wanting to tear your head off. The second time I was getting a little distracted. It was kind of, there were some things going on around me, my environment, that was kind of messing with me. Did you see that? Did you notice that or no?
A little bit, yeah. I knew something was going on, but I heard some things, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. But that it's just you. I mean, I got to get honed back in. I got to get connected to what's going on, and not, allow anything else, because that's all it takes to get distracted from where you are in a scene. It doesn't take much. Somebody looks away, somebody doesn't give you what you want, and at that point there's a couple key things, which is, one is knowing why you're getting angry. Two is connecting it to the human experience. Looking at me and what makes me capable of doing that already connects you to me.
How did it look from the outside? Did it look like I was distracted?
No, it didn't look. It didn't look. It probably felt a little bit more you were distracted than it was what you were revealing.
Okay.
Maria, how about for you, for your experience on that?
The second time was a lot more intense for me. Like it was harder to shake it off.
Do you know why?
Huh?
You know why?
I guess what you were saying, for whatever reason, started to connect, and it was I was fighting it, and then it was settling in, and it was I don't know.
That's it right there. You allowed it.
Okay.
You just gave yourself permission to experience the feeling of this emotion.
Mm.
I'm going there. And that sounds, blocks are as simple as that. I'm not going there. The block allowed me to experience it. I want to feel what this feels like. Mm-hmm. I feel my heart racing. I feel this impulse. I want to do something. And allow it. Now, in this situation, you want to punish, you want to control, you want to seek revenge. And at the end, we were seeking revenge. We were thinking, what could we do to get, to retaliate in some way? So you think of your actions. If I'm feeling this is what I want to do. Now, if you could do it, if you could punish me right now in that emotion, what could you do to punish me? Could you say something hurtful back? Could you punishing me, depending on the circumstances, that you might punish me either with words, or you might punish me with the intonation. You may punish me with, you may hit me. That's punishing me as well. You may use your sarcasm. You're a piece of shit. You know that? So, all right. So we'll let that go down, and let's do one that's easy, and then we'll go do a hard one. Mm-hmm. Clamping on this one side. Clamping. I want you to give me a little. Yeah. Bring it. And one of the things too is the inside here is the buccinator, and it's coming close to the teeth. You're kind of sucking in that muscle. We use it to, so we don't bite our inside of our mouth. We can suck it in. So as we suck it in, and just a little clamp. Yeah, that's good. Really. Now, if you're not going to do what I ask you, and you're going to look down at me, what I guess the best kind of triggers this. What could I say or do that you would think I was an idiot? If I said something mean to somebody, what an asshole. Now the only way we would stay in that is if we wanted somebody to know they're an idiot. If I was lying to you, all right, for a moment, I'm going to be your husband or boyfriend. And you know I was unfaithful to you. And I said to you, baby, it happened. I was just there, I didn't want to think idiot. She's just different. Mm-hmm. Now try to keep your focus on me. You don't have to show me anything except have the thought, idiot. And if you start doing something, then you want me to see it. I just want you to think, idiot. Mm-hmm. Bring it up a little bit more, Maria. Mm-hmm. Now you feel that, you know that if you do that, I'm going to see it, right? Most of the time we don't know we're doing it. Idiot. Okay. Now I want you to see what happens if you raise your head up. Mm-hmm. Do you feel a little superior? Mm-hmm. Now I want you to just flick it. I didn't look at her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Really, that's the thought. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Which one? Now, there's a difference between doing that and. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. Good. That was good, Maria. Good. See what happens, and this we're going to go more in the reaction shot. But instead of clamping it, just give me a side smile. Mm-hmm. Really, like you can only smile. Mm-hmm. What's that feel like? Mm-hmm. Like really, you're being polite, but you can see that's not truthful. Okay, so the contempt, really. Now, anybody have a question or thought about this emotion? It's going to be one of the fun emotions as we get to it, because anything that's doubting. So give me this here. Give me a little, a slight clamp, but raise the brows at the same time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Raise the brow. Mm-hmm. Now that feels a little different. It feels like a little skepticism. Mm-hmm. That's my dumb husband, and I love him. Mm-hmm. The brow's the question. Here's the judgment. Okay, cool. Under what conditions might you could you come up with right now? Give me, and what would be a scenario that you would judge somebody if they were lying to you, or is that something that you might use the contempt for?
That wouldn't be strong enough for me because sometimes I believe people, so I don't really.
Well, you can be angry at them, but you have to. This is the separation of triggers.
Okay.
I'm angry. I want to punish.
Okay.
I want to hurt you. If I think you're an idiot and you're below me, it's like you go in and you're going to buy a car and the guy starts, trying to get over on you. Mm-hmm. I've heard that story before. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of history in contempt. With opinions. So keep in mind, it's a statement of superiority or judgment or a looking down. in a way, it's kind of a disbelief with a kick to it. Because you don't believe somebody if they, right. If I said to you, I never pay you back, right? I borrow money from you all the time. Hey, I need $10, and I go, I'll pay you back. All right, really, yeah. Okay, so let's go into the fear. So let's see who's able to bring that brow up, and then it's a squeezing it in. So it's so it goes up straight and then it comes in. And squeeze that in a little bit more. There you go. See if you can find it. Good. That's good, Danielle. Good. Now you notice that the higher you bring that up, the more intense it immediately becomes. Okay, so let me just see on the brow right now first, Helen. Just lift it up and bring it in. And hold it in, squeeze it in a little bit more. Try to get those right in there. There you go. And hold on to it. Danielle, bring it up and squeeze it in a little bit. Just up a little bit more. Just right there and hold it. All right. So in this hold, without any stress, what could you be worried about right now? Give yourself something to worry about. It may not be active. Maybe it's worried about, somebody's health, well-being. You feel a little bit, you don't feel helpless. You just feel you want to do something, but you don't know what you can do. Now, hold on. Squeeze that in a little bit more, Maria. Need you to hold it. See what that feels like. Now, I want you to put it in an active sense because I don't want you to go to sadness. Now, if you looked around the room, somebody important's coming over, and they're going to judge your space. Imagine having, a fiance and their mother is so judgmental and everything. They could judge anything that's in this, which would only be problems for you guys. If you be aware of the changes, what it feels like. Try not to bring anything else in the face because it'll get bigger, just the brow. You can right there, you can stay in the worry, you can still talk to me. I'm your doctor, and the tests are back. We noticed something. Don't go to sad, don't go to pain, because you're going to feel helpless. What possibly could I have noticed? A little lump you saw. Okay, so in this part, it should be more, oh shit. Oh shit, that's what you're thinking, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, so right now you can maintain it, because there's only one brow that's coming in. It's not until the eyes start to widen just a little bit, feel the eyelids lifting up, getting a little wider. Right there. Now you should intensify. That's too much, Helen. Just enough. You'll feel it. Okay. So what we did on just about somebody you care about. We found a lump. We're not sure, but it might be malignant. We won't know. Now feel the eyes just widening because of it. Now the only thing you're going to do to manage this is I want you to bring in the anger jaw. Press down. You get two emotions going, but you're using the anger to manage it. Okay. Now, the doctor leaves the room. I want you to feel what this is feeling like. Try to deal with it. You feel the breath, try to calm the breath down. I need you to get strong. Good. Okay, relax it. We're going to take just the eyes now. That. A little wider, Maria. I need you to widen them until you begin to feel the anxiety. A little wider. As if we just heard a woman scream. Shh, shh. Not two muscle groups, just one. Bing! That only works in live. The anxiety, that's enough in any situation. If those eyes widen just slightly, it's going to read. That's how small fear can really proceed, because at the situation, everybody else is already afraid, and now you're managing. So you have the eyes. Does that widen? Now, once you allow the brow to come up and squeeze together from the eyes. Now, the slight widen them a little bit more, Maria. Widen the eyes just a little bit more. Squeeze together. The more you widen them, the more panic you're going to begin to feel. A little bit wider, Daniel. Now, okay, good. Relax it. Now, if your eyes are big, so as soon as you see it, so what you'll need to do is play with it. Mine are the same way. So as soon as I do that, it gets a lot of white. And Helen, the same thing. So it could easily get really big really quickly. That's why you have to work at it. All right, we're gonna put a trigger to this. For everybody else, Helen, Daniel, you have enough space behind you. The wall is right behind you. So I want you to allow yourself to imagine that the wall is further back. That there's nothing behind you. There's a doorway behind you, Helen. Okay. So everybody kind of lean a little forward. So don't go back. So you're talking right now. Now, there is someone who is seeking revenge on you. There's a person who is threatening. I want you to have an image of what this person would look like. What makes them threatening? Can you allow an image of a person like that to come in? Would they be big, bulky? Would they be short? And so I want you to have that image. You got something that you know this type of person is dangerous. And you did something, and I want you to justify this, that is sending them on this path to doing you harm. What could you have done? Did you testify against them? Did you get them fired? And right now it's a dark night. You're at home alone. And you're hearing a noise at the door. And now you have two things. You're either going to get up and run away, but you can't. I want you to feel your body frozen right now. And it's right behind you. And I want you to feel the eyes just widen slightly. As you listen, did you hear that noise? Now you're hearing the door creak open, but you can't move. You're feeling your breath picking up. Encourage it. Feel the breath picking up. The eyes are widening. Bring that a little bit more, Maria. Yeah. And you're hearing that sound. You know somebody's there behind you. Keep it small. Right now it's just in the eyes. Until you hear a step. And they're behind you. It's about 10 feet away. You're feeling that brow coming, lifting up. As you hear another step. And now they're just about 2 or 3 feet behind you. You can hear. And you can't move. Feel that brow lifting up, Helen, a little bit more. As you next time he takes a step closer, you can hear his breath. A little wider and bring that brow in, Helen. And I want you to feel them lean down behind you. And I want you to feel them right on the side of your neck. I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 0. And on 0, you're going to feel a cold, hard object in the back of your head. 3, 2, 1, 0. You feel it right there. You can't move. Feel the eyes widening. And the count of 3, 0, you're going to hear the hammer pull back. What's that feel like in the back of your skull? You can feel the pressure. Feel the breath encouraging. Breath is picking up. Eyes are widening. 3, 2, 1. It clicks it back. You can't move. You want to run, but you feel a whole freeze in your body. 3, 2, 1. He unclicks it. He's right behind you. Then you feel his head right on the side of your ear. His breath in it. Widen the eyes, Helen. Get the eyes widened. It doesn't leave. There's still tension. That's it. And then he walks, turns, lets you go. He starts walking out. And you hear the door close. You're safe. Where do you feel it? Is it spinning? Is the room spinning?
I was breathing faster.
Recover from it. Do what you need to do to recover from this moment. You may even feel like you might want to go to tears. Lean over, do whatever you have to do. Each step along the way, the closer, the wider, closer. It's not going to move anything from here unless something else happens. Got it? What was your experience of that? Deliberately choosing to be frozen, can't move.
I definitely started breathing faster. Well, there's a moment I didn't really understand what you were saying, so I thought he was leaving, but I guess not. So that's why you told me eyes, because I was almost letting you go.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah. So, but yeah, when I was at it, my breath was, I was breathing faster. Yeah.
Did you feel any tension throughout the body?
Yeah, I was very, very tense. Yeah.
And it's interesting, because we don't realize it that we are prepared to run, but as soon as they leave, the legs feel weak.
Yeah.
To that point there. When we practice this, we want to practice trigger to trigger to trigger. Because for a long time, it was just until you figured out what the hell was going on, you didn't move to the next degree of intensity. Danielle, what was your takeaway from that?
There was a lot of tension that built up in my body to the point where it was all in my neck, my shoulders, and my head, and then I started getting kind of dizzy when I came out of it. It was hard to really believe that something like that was happening. So for me, it was hard for me to kind of feel that genuinely, if that makes sense.
Was the breathing picking up? Did you feel frozen? Did you?
Yes, I felt all that. Yeah, the breathing was picking up.
It's not happening. What are you going to believe in? I mean, the fact that the belief is in these changes that are occurring.
Yeah.
The belief is in the impulse. I can't move. if we do more, would all of a sudden the way you would believe it is by going to hysteria and flailing, which is easy to do. The hardest thing to do is allow that emotion to build, and I can't move. There's a spot, you're driving along, right? And out of the corner of your eye, you see a car coming. You pick it up, and then you see it, and if I was doing this in slow motion, the eyes would widen. As the car is coming closer to me, I'm going to spin the wheel, trying to get out of its way, and at the last moment, I'm going to hit the brake. Now, if you allow that all to happen and have it quickly, those changes will occur in you, and it will, if they cut to the car, you would see that. They cut closer, you see the intensity of the emotion rising, and on the impact, you probably have all three. But there is no car coming. There's an X right there. And that's where you got to make us believe it. But if we don't pick it up trigger by trigger, people, that's what they're not going to believe. Yeah. And if you do it correctly and you get everything down, your belief will increase. Can you do this? If we did this again, now maybe what you need to do is be more specific of who he is. Maybe the sound of his footsteps got to be a little clearer. What you don't believe is if your mind's going in and out. That's interrupting your belief.
Unfortunately, I think I had my face on the screen as I was doing it, so I was getting really distracted by watching what was happening.
By seeing yourself, yeah. Well, right now, I just want you to have the tools so you can practice and do it, but we still have to get to the place. You got to go back and play it back so you could see if that's happening.
Yeah.
Because if you could be feeling it and it's not happening, then the viewer's not going to buy it. Maria, what was that experience for you like?
I was really into it. My body's still kind of shaking a little bit. I don't know, it was, I felt my heart race. I felt the tension. I felt like my eyes were watering up. My nose was dripping a little bit. So it was scary and fun.
Scary and fun. I want you to practice each one of these, as we're going on, and it is, you notice that we started with one muscle group, then we added in another one. Mm-hmm. And that, again, it's not going to happen unless it intensifies. So part of this, if you go back and practice, could you see how you could practice again yourself to hear that sound? Whatever you're doing, you're freezing. Why? Because you thought you heard something. And then the noise goes again. And then the eyes start to widen. What the hell was that? And you don't want to move quickly because you don't want to draw attention. It's like an animal.
Yeah.
And if you do this, you're in control. So it has to be slow. And then you hear the door opening. Oh, shit. Realistically, you would look, is there a way out of this? All right? That would come in. But what happens if we would have to isolate it? There is no place for you to go. That's why you're frozen. And as they're getting closer, the more tension it's going to grow. That brow is going to come up and pull together. Now, I did it from behind you, but you could do it in front of you as well if you saw them. You allow that person to be in front of you. They walked into the party, and there they are. Oh, shit. And they start walking towards you. And you see their hand reaching down into their coat to grab something. And then they pull out the gun right there. And you're against the wall. And they put the gun right there. Click. Next time. Cool. So it's all about the steps and know where to go with them. Once you know where to go with them, you can play. That makes sense?
Yeah. Totally.
And you're in control now. If you go, okay, great. I know this move. I know that move. Now I can let it happen and let it engage you. So pick different things, you know. Scare the hell out of yourself. You know, sit in the room. But the visual part. All right. So we're not. I want to, because we got a couple more to do. But I want to end it on happy. And then we'll come back. We'll do the sad on our next visit and
Yeah.
that. I don't want to leave you on a downer. Okay. So we're going to use pleasure as our trigger for happy. So this sound is connected with the eyelid, and we've already talked about it. The eyelid relaxes, and I want to allow it to relax and then come up halfway. And allow yourself to stay in this bliss state. So here's the sound. Now let that drop all the way down to where you're sitting. It's got to go all the way down to your genitals and all the way down. So the more you make that sound of now don't keep them closed. Let them be up halfway. It's almost like you're a little intoxicated. So the more you make this, if you're driving, go, let the eyes relax. You feel that little relaxation in the eyes. So after you make that, how's that feel? Really good. So it's not a it's a all the way down. Feel that right to your And if I ask you, is that good? Is there a taste? If you had a taste of something, what taste would give you pleasure? Could it be milk chocolate or something? Chocolate seems to be the one for some people. And that taste, if you could taste it in your mouth, you haven't had it for a long time, just enjoy that. Now let the eyes come up. Is that good? Good. All right. You're going to pick somebody to look at. Somebody who could be a close friend that you could make really close. Pick somebody else, tell us who it is. And what I want you to look at this person, you can even be me if you want. And you haven't seen this person in a while. But for you, why do you love this person? What have they done for you? They've always had your back. They were always there when you needed them. This is that friend that's given up so much. I want you to find it on the person. You pick one person, either Maria, Danielle, Helen. You pick one and I want you to look at them now. And I want you to see what makes them capable of being this friend. Can you find in their face the loyalty? Can you find the support that no one else has given you? Now, when you look at them, I want you to just allow, because it's already happening, allow the eye just to relax. And just hold it. Now, hold it and looking at them, because there they are. And enjoy that. This is for your pleasure. Looking at them gives you pleasure. And I want you to allow yourself to enjoy that moment. And if you allow yourself to enjoy it, because this person's always had my back. Allow yourself to relax in it. There you go. Let it intensify. If you want to stretch out even more than smile, let the. But I don't want you to go to laughing because this is not funny. This is pleasure. This makes your soul feel good. Now, this person that's looking back at you right now, they can be looking right back at you, and I want you to feel the relaxation of having love for this person. There's nothing embarrassing. In fact, you can't help it. That impulse, what do you want? You want more of this feeling. So I want you to now let it drop. And you're going to look away. And then you're going to lock onto that one person. And for that one time, you're seeing as if they can't really see you, but you see them. And as soon as you see them, I want you to allow that feeling to come over you again with the. In fact, here's what we do is, if you put it on all four, Danielle, you and Maria, just have a conversation. And Helen, what I want you to do is I want you to come in and just, spot with one of the gals, whoever you're making as your friend, and see them and just let that sense of joy, pleasure come over.
When I look at them?
Well, yeah, but you're gonna like almost come into the room and see them talking.
Okay.
And then see them and allow it to come up. So you guys, Danielle and you, Maria, talk. Have a conversation about anything. Ask Maria a question, Danielle.
Maria, where do you live?
I live in Queens.
Oh my gosh.
Whenever you're ready, you're gonna.
Have you been to New York before?
Yes. Actually, I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I love New York. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, do you ever come to New York?
Yes, every so often I do.
Had your back.
Oh, okay. Are you studying in Jersey or are you studying in?
Good. All right, good. Very nice.
In New Jersey, yes, I'm in New Jersey, yeah.
So if the pleasure is true, there's no self-consciousness. You can actually look right at them and have this feeling. It becomes self-conscious when we don't know why we're supposed to be in love or happy with somebody.
I'm confused. When we were talking, was Helen looking at us as far as she was loving us, or we were engaging in each other?
No. She was looking at one of you.
Oh, okay.
And so, and seeing that, and seeing her, and then allowing that, and just getting locked into that joy. What was that like for you, Helen? Will you feel comfortable with it?
Yep.
No self-consciousness, not worrying about your smile, just enjoying the pleasure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so Danielle, so Helen and Maria will be talking. Choose one of them. Remember now, you have to know why it is that they give you pleasure. There's something very important to you that whoever this person is has done for you. Is loyalty really important? Is the way they make you feel better about you when you feel better about you when you're with them. They're always support. Whatever it is that you need, that's what they give you. So I want you to, you're going to be doing something else and then spot them, and you haven't seen her for a while. So it's that freeze, and just enjoy her talking to this other person. It's a moment all on your own, okay? So Helen and Maria, have a chat.
So what part of Canada are you from?
I'm from Montreal.
Oh, okay. It's not that far, right, from New York.
7 hours, maybe 8.
Really? I thought
Driving.
Oh, driving. Okay.
Yeah, by plane, I guess 2 hours.
Toothy smile. Just make it a
Okay.
closed mouth.
You been to New York?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. I wish I could live there.
I always wanted to go to Montreal.
Really?
Yeah, because I heard it's really beautiful.
Good.
Oh, it is.
All right. Did you feel the joy?
Yeah, I did. It was I was just forgetting about the fact that, like, you know, I felt like I was like eavesdropping, watching them have a conversation.
Yeah, and it's just like you know, and it's like camera, and the camera spots you, and you're just looking at, you know, and there's just that moment of joy that's all over your face, but it's small.
Yeah.
But it's all right there.
Yeah.
And the
Oh, good.
smile doesn't have to be really big.
Mm.
It's just what's happening with the eyes there. And you can see how that pleasure, whether it's a romantic date, you know, with your husband or something, and you just look at him and it makes you smile. But why? 'Cause it just gives you so much pleasure.
Mhm.
You know? And so, but we confuse that with laughter. We got to laugh. We got to get excited.
Yeah.
When this is really the love, the joy that comes out of it. Marie, you want to try it?
Okay.
Okay, so know who you're going to pick. Again, create that history. History is what moves us. It's with that emotional history.
Hey, Helen.
Hey. And where are you from?
I'm in Jersey right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and you're in Canada?
Sorry?
You're in Canada?
Yeah. In Quebec.
Oh my gosh. I see you're all bundled up. Is it cold up there?
Oh, it's really cold. It's -7 or minus. Now it's -15 almost.
Is it really? It's in the negatives?
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy the sensation of
Oh
that.
my god. Do you ever come down?
Winter already.
Do you come down to New York or New Jersey at all? Do you come down south?
Once a year, maybe. Yeah, I wish more, but yeah, I wish I could work in the States.
Yeah, you should. I mean, do you have to get the green card and all that or something?
Oh my gosh, it's so complicated.
Oh.
Yeah, and it needs, yeah, I
You
guess,
can go away, Marie, come back, spot them.
10,000.
As soon as you see her.
Wow. So are you acting up in Canada?
Yeah.
Very cool. Very nice. I used to work with a girl who was from Canada originally. She was on Private Practice. She was Dr. Patrick Dempsey's sister in Grey's Anatomy.
Good. So tell us about your experience in that, Marie.
I really couldn't hear what you were telling me.
Okay.
But
I was just seeing the hesitation. That's why I wanted to do it again, and because it would come up, and then you start to lose it a little bit. So, and then the last time you hung on to it.
I think in the beginning it was a combination of I couldn't hear what you were saying, and then for whatever reason this little thing of like sadness came up where like I couldn't really touch her, and I wanted to touch her, and so it's like okay, and it's like all right, so I settled back into it.
Yeah. Well, that's when we add sadness to our joy, it's bittersweet,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a great reaction. It's the kind of reaction we give when we see little puppies, or somebody. So it's a blend of sadness and joy, and we may have those reactions to things that we always wanted but never could have, then all of a sudden have. Because I've always wanted, and there it is. So it's a blend of that. And as I was watching your face, the bitterness wasn't coming in. It was just preventing you from just giving over to the joy.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that happens when we're self-conscious about joy is there's a lot of blinking. But when you're really focused, the blinking's really slow. This blinking rate slows down. So we have sadness. So we'll start the next one off right with that, and then we're going to go into more reactions. So, but I want to be clear. Again, you have to identify the trigger, the aspect of the trigger. That's what we're going to react to. You didn't react to everything in the fear. You reacted first to the sound of the door. Then you reacted to the sound of the footsteps getting closer. This is all potential harm. And then you reacted to their presence close to you, feeling their energy. Then you reacted to the gun in the back of your head. Then you reacted to the clicking. All those, the whole event was somebody breaking in, but each of the little aspect of that event is what we were reacting to. Maybe it was his breath. So you have to know, because otherwise you won't know how to react to or when to react. So you have to identify those. And now we know what that is. When we're dealing, and the tool I'm giving you right now is making the human connection. Whoever you're working with, we got to build that history into the event. Like I was looking at them, and what is it that has given you such love or joy? What did they do? Now, you can make that more specific by the next time we meet, I'm going to give you another tool to make the history even more specific. Okay, so but right now we're just using what we need to justify why we're feeling what we're feeling. Once you activate the muscle group with that history, it gives you tunnel vision. Remember, we only become emotional with things that are important to our well-being, positive or negative. So creating the history, knowing specifically what will evoke, what could evoke that emotional response from us, and building circumstances to justify it. So it makes sense that we'd be feeling this, because I am feeling it. And it makes sense because that's what just happened. Or this is what's happening. Does that make sense, guys?
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you say once you activate the muscle group with the trigger or the history?
Well, the history is what we've already created.
Okay.
Before we do it, you have to set the history up before you do the scene.
Okay.
The relationship.
The relationship, right.
Or in our relationship to the event. Somebody did something. We witnessed them doing something that we now have a disdain for them.
And then it says once you activate the muscle group with, and then I missed that last part that you had said.
Once you activate it with that, and you already know why you feel that, it makes sense. It makes sense that you feel this disgust towards that person.
Okay.
When it all makes sense, A, it's easier to remember, and B, it's easier to execute. Any one of these things, if you practice and rehearse it, you could do it fluidly and play within it. Right now, it's a little bit choppy because you're still in your head about it. Am I bringing it in enough? Is this too much? Is this not enough? That's where practicing the muscle groups to get them subtle, know when they are, is what's going to help you. Any last minute thoughts? Coming up, I'd like to sum up before we always leave. I like to get, okay, anything what you have gotten from tonight. So, Helen, I'm going to start with you, and what was your take on tonight?
Okay, tonight, I think I could isolate every different emotion. Like I really got a hold of not mixing up different emotions all at once. So today was very, very clear.
Okay, cool. And know what's going to be cool right now, if you brought the anger brow in, now the disgust. Now you got to blend those two different things, but you won't have those two muscle groups activated unless there's a circumstance to support it.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything that's on our face is because it's connected to something.
Mm-hmm.
And the more, once you're in alignment with all this and you know these changes, then all you do is build a history and live in it. Because what you feel will be directly relative to what you were expressing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Danielle, what's your takeaway for tonight?
Oh, I didn't realize like it's very difficult for me to stay focused on whatever that trigger is, whatever that imagination or imaginary situation is. I don't know. I never realized that. Maybe because we're in the class and we got the camera and you know what I mean? You're watching us and all that. I don't know, but I'm finding it difficult to remain focused.
Okay.
On what it is that's
staying in the game here.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, and what is it that how do I zone in and really lock in on that trigger enough so that it can really affect me naturally?
Okay, a couple things. One, I don't want you to think that I have a lot of mental activity with the trigger. Okay, that is the point. That's your X. What is my internal thought? That's my whole thought is, and what's my impulse? I want to punish. I want to retaliate. I want to do something with that. And if you lose contact with that X or where the stimuli is coming from, or you lose contact with that, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to hurt you, well, then you will step out of the emotion. You're going against the emotion itself. So part of that is you might be leaving. It might be, that's a lot of energy. There could be a lot of things that could play havoc with your concentration. And I think right now what might be playing havoc with your concentration is you might be making it harder for yourself than it actually has to be. When I want you to be aware of the next time you have an emotion, you're not running 12 different scenarios through your head. And you might be when you're trying to figure out what you're feeling. But when you're feeling, you have a feeling, the brain is preparing your body to take an action, and you want to take an action. If somebody is giving you a massage, right? And it feels really good. How many thoughts do you think you got going on that are not connected to that? Oh, that's so good. I want more of that. Are you thinking about who is, if you're thinking about who is rubbing your back and why they're rubbing your back, then you're not involved with the pleasure. Because you can't go, oh, it's my gardener rubbing my back. Oh, but that's good. But it's my gardener. So you will go in and out, right?
Yeah.
Stay in the emotion. So if you're judging it or trying to do something other than staying connected to that impulse and to where that is coming from, well, yeah. And having that laser attention is incredibly important for an actor. And remind me next week. I'll go into how to amp up your concentration, and so because it is a muscle like anything else. Maria, how about for you tonight? What was your takeaway?
I kind of understand what Danielle was saying, because I think for me in the beginning it was like, okay, think about the muscles in your face, think about that, and then think about the circumstances. So for me, it was kind of in and out in the beginning. And once, I sort of I didn't think about it so much unless you said something. It was like, oh, okay, I can go with this scenario. And it was a lot easier, I guess, because you were setting it up than me when I was doing it at home.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really get into it.
Okay.
But I think I understand what you're saying, though.
Good. And think of it, let's put it into dance or into movement or into music. And I'm showing you here's these notes. And here's the rhythm to these notes. Well, you're going to be looking at your finger, and you're going to be counting off beats, and you're going to make sure you get on the right fret or the right finger, hand movement, and everything else. Well, you can't give yourself over to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until you make that second nature. So if it is in and out, Danielle, don't worry about it right now. Just keep practicing. If everybody was like super, like I got it all, I'm easy, I didn't have any problems, then going, either I'm too brilliant of a teacher, or maybe you're actually doing something wrong. Because it isn't, we all have things that are easy for us and things that are a little bit more difficult. But if you're trying to remember where it is, it's going to be problematic. Go to the resonators, keep it mechanical right now until you can do one that's mechanical. All those so you can isolate them. So you're not thinking about it. I make a sound, it activates that muscle group. Then we can go back and go, okay, well, why is that happening? Where is it coming from? Is it a thought? Is it something somebody's doing, something saying? And we're adding that, but tonight we did all of that. I showed you we worked the muscle groups and we were applying the trigger to it. Cool?
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so what I want you to practice now is basically go back and do this tape again. Go back and do the fear. Go back and do the disgust. Go back over and over. Put somebody, create a history, and then create that opinion, emotional opinion towards them. But give yourself enough information to make it make sense, son of a bitch. There's always an inner thought of what you want to do, or that emotional opinion make me sick. Okay, but you don't. I hate you because you did this and that. That's why I hate you. That's going to give you all this. When I'm in the emotion, it make me sick. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You said create history.
Yeah, support the emotion. Go back over. When you're exploring the emotions, I ask you to set it up in detail. Detail meaning, what would have to occur? How would they have to do something? How would this have to unfold for it to evoke that response from you?
Okay.
You're not going to get angry if I go, hi, how you doing? Right? That might not take you off. But what happens when, hi, how you doing? I put my hand on your thigh. And I have a reputation of doing this. And you already know that. Would that begin to make you mad if somebody violated your space that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I could say, hi, how you doing? But that's not enough detail. So add the detail in the aspects of the event. Oh man, somebody did that. Well, if that happened, I would oh God. Enough to make it happen that way.
Got it.
So have fun with it, and that's it for now. Any questions that you have, let me know. Any problems, send me an email, and let me know. And if something really is I can't do something, email me. We'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys. I'll have this recording, and I'll get it over to you as soon as I can.
Bye, girls.
Bye. Good night, ladies.
Good night.
One last thing.
Oh.
Do you guys have each other's emails? It's the Three Musketeers. See if you can't get together between now and Monday. Find a time that all three of you can meet up, even if it's for a half hour, even if only two of you can do it at one time, two do another time. Please try to work together.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
John, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I guess I was funny.